Okay. Our next meeting, first, two housekeeping things. Our next meeting is this Thursday, March 19th, 2020. Um, I think it's from 7 to 7:45 p.m. It's a quick peek meeting, just a little look at a project and we talk about it. 57 Ballard Avenue in Valley Stream. It's really close to where we have the monthly meetings. That's number one. So please sign up or just show up. Use the back door. What else? If you like the videos, click like below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share, comment. We respond to comments very quickly. I respond to a bunch of comments today within 10 minutes. So we're talking about coronavirus, what it means. So three parts to this video. I don't think it's going to be that long. The first is really what I think about the whole pandemic and the virus. The second is what it means to our business in the short term. And third is what it could mean in the long term. Obviously, that's harder to predict. So number one, I think that the media has done a horrible job really portraying this virus like it's Ebola and portraying it as if you get this, there's a good chance you're going to die. If you get this and you're healthy, there's a good chance you're not even going to know you have it. And I think when we're all done with this and we finally figure out a way to automate the testing and get testing done, I think they're going to find that the mortality rate on this virus was almost as low, if not as low, as the flu. The flu kills 1 out of 1,000 people who get it. And the truth is we don't really know how many people get the flu, but that's an estimate. And I think we really have no idea how many people have this virus because a vast majority of them have no symptoms or almost no symptoms whatsoever. If you think about the term self-quarantine, it never happened before because if someone had to be quarantined because they had a deadly disease, they needed medical attention and you couldn't do it in your house. But with this virus, according to the stats that they have now, it's about 85% of the people have such a mild case of it that they can just stay in their home and wait till it passes. Again, I don't know if that number's right because I think there's a lot more people who have it than are reporting it, right? You cannot get tested today. And by the way, it's being recorded on Sunday, March 15th. You cannot get tested today unless you are very symptomatic or you have direct contact with someone who's tested positive. So a lot of people who maybe feel some symptoms or minor symptoms, even if they wanted to get tested, they couldn't. Okay, that's my thoughts on it. And I think that the media really did a great job of making this into a scary story. But it's not such a scary story. If the media portrayed this as, hey, you're going to get something that's probably going to be less debilitating to you than the flu, unless, and here's the big unless you are old, you have respiratory problems, you have some comorbidity like diabetes, asthma. Those are things that make it dangerous. But for anybody who doesn't have those issues, most people that get this are going to be fine. So if the media portrayed it like that, like, hey, if you don't have any of these problems, this probably isn't a problem for you, I think there wouldn't be a run on toilet paper right now in Costco. Those are my 2 cents about the virus. The second thing is short term, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I think most sellers are still meeting with us. I'm still going on appointments. I can't shake their hand, but I give them an elbow, and everybody's fine with that. People aren't afraid to interact with other people. Now, for the long-term effects of this, this could put us into a national or even international global recession. It could, right? It's definitely going to have an effect. Things are not happening like they should be. People are not getting paid for certain jobs, and there's a lot of ripple effects for the economy. So this could be what finally puts the real estate market into a downturn. And that could be good, right? We're 12, 13 years into an up market, right? The bottom was 2007, 2008, and these are usually 8 to 10 year cycles, and there's usually a 1 to 2 year down cycle. So we're due for that. Once again, what we're seeing in Long Island is that the higher end areas for years already have been all going down a little bit, but the lower end areas have done very well. I'm not saying prices appreciating a lot, but in certain areas they are appreciating, and in many areas they're holding steady. Most of the lower end areas. So it's time maybe for those lower end areas to go down for a little bit, which would be great. What I'm saying, why that's a good thing, is because if the public perception is that, hey, the longer I keep my house, the less I'm going to get for it, we can buy houses easier. That's not the general perception today. Most people feel if the longer they keep their house, the more they'll get for it. So it takes a whole sequence of events and eventually for the media to come up and say, hey, we're down 5% in the market, for people to say, oh crap, I should have sold when I could have, and I better sell fast. So if that's what happens, I think it's a good thing. Now, I don't think the coronavirus outbreak is a good thing. People are actually dying from it, and that's not good. People are getting sick from it, and that's not good. But again, almost all of the people who get this, who don't have any underlying respiratory problems, are going to be fine. Of course, in the end, people are going to die, and that's not good. But I think it's such a small percentage that I believe that there is an opportunity here. Well, not the virus opportunity, but it is a possibility here that this puts the economy in a little bit of a slowdown, which causes real estate values to drop, which could be good for us. Again, I'm not happy that people are dying. I'm not happy people are getting sick. I think people are treating this in a crazy way and afraid to get it. Healthy people that to get it, I mean, I'm being careful not to pass it on, washing my hands 100 times, using hand sanitizer every second, because if I have it and I wouldn't know and I don't know it, I don't want to pass it to somebody else. That's fine. It's good to be careful. It's good to be cautious, but it's something that people shouldn't be afraid of, and I think many people are. That's crazy. But again, if this is what pushes us over the edge into a situation where values go down, and I don't think it's going to be like a complete massive drop of 50, 60% like we saw in 2007, 2008. I was in the mortgage business at that time, and that was an artificially inflated bubble because anyone could get a mortgage without any money and any credit. It was a crazy situation. So that stopped and everything, it was a house of cards. We're not in that situation now. Values, I think, are strong. People got loans that I think they had to qualify for. Even if some people qualified for got a no income loan, they had to put enough money down that they're not going to walk away, which is what happened before. So I think we can have a 5-10% drop, and I think that would be great. Again, I'm more concerned with people's perception. If people feel like I got to sell because the market's on the way down, that's good for us. Those are my thoughts. Feel free to comment if you think I'm crazy or if you agree. Again, comments usually get answered pretty quickly. Be careful, be diligent, but don't be afraid, because if you're healthy, there's not much to be afraid of. If you have some kind of other issue, then you really should stay don't expose yourself to other people and take other precautions.